Hold on, who's talking to me? You are talking to me? How did you get into my head? You are what? The servant of your master? You seem to be a creature from hell. You want me to be silent?
Gothic was released in 2001 by Piranha Bytes. What started as a rough and somewhat overlooked title eventually became one of the most beloved RPGs of its era, especially in Europe. After its release, the game was praised for many things: the graphics, the story, but most of all, for creating one of the first truly living, breathing worlds in gaming. For many players, Gothic wasn't just a game. It was a gateway into a dark, unforgiving universe, and those who stuck with it never forgot the experience. The game takes place in the kingdom of Myrtana, specifically in a penal colony on the island of Corinus. The kingdom is at war with the orcs, and every man guilty of a crime is sentenced to work in the ore mines of Corinus, digging up magical ore needed for the war effort. To make escape impossible, the king sends the realm's most powerful magicians to create a magical barrier around the entire valley. But something goes wrong. The barrier expands far beyond what was planned, trapping not just the prisoners, but also the mages inside. Not long after, the convicts stage an uprising, kill the guards, and take control of the colony. Now the king is forced to negotiate. He still needs the ore, so he strikes a deal. Every month, supplies are delivered to the edge of the barrier in exchange for ore. And this is where you come in, an ordinary guy sentenced for an unspecified crime and thrown into the colony. The moment you arrive, you're knocked out cold. When you wake up, you're greeted by a man named Diego. He gives you a rough introduction to how things work inside and suggests you head to the old camp, your best shot at surviving. Inside the barrier, 3 camps have formed, each with its own ideology, leadership, and lifestyle. To progress the story, you'll need to join one of them. It's also the biggest choice you'll make in the game, affecting your quests, gear, allies, and the overall experience. And like in most Piranha Bytes games, this choice adds a lot to the game's replayability. The old camp is the biggest and was the first to be established. It's run by the ore barons, who control everything and trade directly with the king. In return for ore, they receive whatever luxuries they demand: food, booze, women, you name it. At the top sits Gomez, the de facto king of the colony. He rarely leaves the castle throne room, where he's constantly guarded by his most trusted men. Below the ore barons are the guards. These guys enforce order in the camp, but also shake down the diggers for protection money. Then there are the shadows, scouts, thieves, and sneaks who do the dirty work. And at the very bottom are the diggers, poor bastards forced to work in the old mine. Ore, by the way, is also the colony's currency, kind of like bottle caps in Fallout. You'll still find gold coins here and there. Some chests in the old camp's castle are full of them, but they're worthless inside the barrier. You'll also find the fire mages in the old camp. They mostly keep to themselves, studying the barrier and trying to figure out what went wrong. If you want to join the old camp, you'll start out as a shadow. Later you can become a guard, or if you prefer magic, a fire mage. To the west lies the new camp. They have their own mine, but they don't trade ore with the king. Instead, the water mages here believe that if they stockpile enough ore, they will be able to just blow up the barrier and escape. This camp is a mix of water mages, mercenaries, and bandits. The mercenaries are hired muscle. They keep the peace and protect the mages. The bandits mostly just drink, get stoned, and look out for themselves. If you decide to join the new camp, you'll start as a bandit. Later, you can become a mercenary or a water mage. And then there's the sect camp, also known as the Brotherhood of the Sleeper. It's located deep in the eastern swamps and, without a doubt, it's the weirdest of the 3. The Brotherhood worships a mysterious god called the Sleeper, who supposedly speaks to them through swamp weed-fueled visions. Swamp weed grows everywhere in their camp. It's their main product, and they trade it with the other factions. At the top of the Brotherhood are the Gurus, powerful mages who claim to commune with the Sleeper. They preach to novices, practice strange magic, and keep the Brotherhood in line. Their spiritual leader is Yiberian, who spends most of his time meditating in a mysterious temple, usually flanked by 2 lovely slave girls. Beneath the Gurus are the Templars, elite warriors who enforce order. Then come the novices who don't mine ore like the other camps. Instead, they process and package swamp weed for trade. If you join the Brotherhood, you'll start as a novice and work your way up to become a Templar, gaining access to some badass armor and unique magic along the way. Once you've joined a camp, your next big objective is to uncover what the Brotherhood is planning. You'll discover they're preparing for a grand invocation, a ritual to summon the sleeper, and they need several ingredients to complete it. Uberian sends you to retrieve one of the 5 focus stones, ancient artifacts once used by the mages to create the barrier. He gives you a map to its location, where you find a novice named Nyras guarding the stone, but he's clearly lost his mind. He claims he serves only the sleeper now and attacks you.
Now I'll only serve the sleeper. No more Templars or gurus. Only me alone. Die!
After defeating him, you take the focus stone back to Uberian, who then sends you to Guru Kor Kalam, the Brotherhood's alchemist. Kalam is brewing potions for the invocation, and one of the key ingredients is a secretion found in the mandibles of minecrawlers, giant insect-like creatures that live underground. The problem is, the mandibles contain only a small amount of the substance. In one of his visions, the sleeper revealed that a more concentrated source must exist, somewhere in a minecrawler's nest. Your best bet is to explore the old mine. After speaking to Ian, the mine boss, he confirms that there are likely multiple nests deep within. Once you fix a broken ore crusher for him, he points you toward a sealed-off area at the mine's lowest level. The place is pitch dark, so bring a torch. Or better yet, a light scroll, since torches take up a hand and you can't fight while holding one. After battling your way through several mine crawlers, you'll eventually reach the queen's nest. Defeat her and collect her eggs, which contain the concentrated secretion Kalam needs. After bringing the eggs to Kor Kalam, he only needs one last thing, an almanac containing instructions on how to use the focus stone. Novice Talus was sent to buy it from the fire mages in the old camp, but on the way back he was supposedly robbed by black goblins. After talking to him, he'll agree to take you to their cave. You can even extort him for a bit of extra ore along the way. The goblins' hideout is across a rope bridge. Once you wipe them out, you'll find the almanac in one of the chests. Bring it back to Kalam, and with that, everything is ready. He tells you to meet him in the temple courtyard at sundown. A short cutscene follows. The invocation begins, but something goes horribly wrong, and Uberian is gravely injured during the ritual. Despite your best efforts to save him, he dies, but not before revealing that the sleeper is actually an evil archdemon, and the entire colony is in great danger. Kor Kalam refuses to believe it. Blinded by faith, he breaks away from the Brotherhood, taking several Templars with him. In order to break free from the barrier, your path eventually leads you to the new camp and the water mages. After completing a few quests for them, you learn that there's actually a 13th magician, a powerful necromancer, living in seclusion somewhere deep within orc territory. Reaching him isn't easy. You'll have to fight your way through hordes of orcs guarding the area around his tower. Once inside, you'll solve a clever little puzzle given to you by his demon servant. Only then will the necromancer, Zardas, agree to speak with you. He tells you the water mage's plan won't work. The only real chance to destroy the barrier lies beneath the orc town. Later, you meet an exiled orc shaman who reveals a dark truth. The orcs once worshipped the sleeper. Hoping he would grant them power, they built a massive underground temple in his honor. 5 powerful orc shamans even gave him their hearts as a form of sacrifice. But instead of giving them strength, the sleeper cursed them. Now those 5 hearts are the source of his power. This leads you to the endgame, the orc town and the ancient temple hidden beneath it. It's basically a massive dungeon, packed with all kinds of horrors: orcs, undead, demons, minecrawler warriors, and brainwashed Templars who still believe the sleeper is their savior. As you delve deeper into the temple, you eventually come face to face with Kor Kalam, now completely consumed by his obsession. After killing him and some fanatical novices, you finally confront the sleeper himself. Using 5 magical blades of the undead priest, you pierce the hearts that are the source of the sleeper's power. Once all 5 hearts are destroyed, that's it. Now you can just sit back and enjoy the final cutscene. Even decades later, Gothic still stands out as something special. Its world is harsh, dangerous, and doesn't hold your hand, and that's what makes it so memorable. Stepping into the colony feels like a real adventure, and it's something every RPG fan should experience at least once. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more retro RPG reviews.